Hello students, today we are starting a new chapter that is the unit 8 in the second textbook, that is redox reactions. In this video we are going to discuss the introduction part of redox reaction. As the chemistry deals with a variety of matter and the changes of one kind of matter into another. So you have already learned the physical and chemical changes in which the chemical changes where is this transformation of matter from one kind to another, and these occurs through different type of reactions. One of the important category of such reactions is redox reactions. These reactions find extensive use in medical field, biological, industrial, metallurgical, and in the agricultural areas. So it is one of the most important category of reactions, that is redox reactions. So in this video we are going to discuss about the introduction part of redox reactions. It is defined as redox reactions are the chemical reactions involving simultaneously oxidation and reduction process. That means the reactions in which both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, that reaction is called as redox reaction. Here the redox word is used from the word reduction, RED, that is taken from reduction, and OX is taken from oxidation. So that's why the name comes redox. That is RED from the reduction and OX from the oxidation. That's why the word comes redox. So redox reaction means the reaction in which both the oxidation and the reduction is taking place simultaneously is called as redox reaction. So both the process occurs simultaneously. Hence in this, one of the species get oxidized, other is get reduced. So let us discuss more about redox reaction. First of all, let us discuss what is oxidation and reduction reactions. Oxidation reaction can be defined in this way, that is the reaction in which there is addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. That is the reaction in which there is addition of oxygen. When we take the example of magnesium, when it is react with oxygen, it gives rise to magnesium oxide. This is, you have already familiar with this equation. When the magnesium ribbon is burned in the oxygen, that is in the presence of air, it gives the magnesium oxide. So here there is an addition of oxygen. When you look at here the magnesium in which the oxygen get added, so that's why we are getting the formula MgO. That means from when you compare from here to here, there is addition of oxygen. Therefore this reaction is called as oxidation reaction. Similarly, when the sulfur is burnt in the presence of air, it gives rise to sulfur dioxide gas. That is, here also addition of oxygen is taking place. That means from here to here, when you compare it from the reactant to the product side, there is an addition of oxygen. So this reaction is also called as oxidation. When we take another example, that is methane. Methane is oxidized. So here we are getting the product carbon dioxide and water. So here when you look at here carbon, here there is hydrogen with the carbon, but when you look at the product side, now here with the carbon there is oxygen. That means addition of oxygen is taking place. That's why this is an oxidation reaction. But when you look at this equation here, in this the carbon is having hydrogen. Now here carbon does not have hydrogen. That means from here to here we can say that there is addition of oxygen, but there is removal of hydrogen also. Therefore we can also define the oxidation in terms of hydrogen in this way. That is the removal of a hydrogen is called as oxidation, when we take another example, that is H2S plus O2 giving rise to S plus H2O. When you look at this equation, here the sulfur that is in the H2S form, it is there in the reactant side, but in the product side there is only sulfur. That is H2S get converted into S. So what is happening from here to here? There is removal of hydrogen. We can see now the hydrogen is removed from here. That is an oxidation. And similarly we can say that here there is the addition of oxygen is also taking place. Therefore we can define the oxidation reaction in terms of oxygen, that is addition of oxygen is called as oxidation, and the removal of hydrogen is also called as it's also called as oxidation. So the oxidation can also be defined on the basis of addition of electronegative element. That means when you look at in this equation there is no hydrogen and there is no oxygen. So if there is no hydrogen and oxygen, so how we can define an oxidation? That is on the basis of electronegative element. When there is an addition of electronegative element, when you look at here, magnesium on the reactant side and on the product side, from here to here there is an addition of fluorine. That you can see here, there is an addition of fluorine, that is electronegative element in compared to the magnesium. That means from reactant to the product side, what is actually happening here? That is addition of electronegative element is taking place. In the second example also you can see that magnesium from reactant to the product side, what is happening here? Addition of chlorine is taking place. That is also electronegative element in compared to magnesium. So here similarly in this third equation also we can say that there is addition of electronegative element. So the oxidation can also be defined as the reaction in which there is addition of electronegative element. That is called as oxidation. It can also be defined in this way, that is the removal of electropositive element is called as oxidation. From here to here, when you can see that here K4 is there, here K3 is there. That means 1K is removed from here. That is from here to here, what is happening? Removal of electropositive element, that is potassium, is the removal is taking place. That's why it is called as oxidation. So we have defined the oxidation in 4 different ways. That is, the addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Addition of electronegative element is called as oxidation. Removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. Removal of electropositive element is called as oxidation. But the most important definition for the oxidation is the reaction in which there is loss of electron, and it can also be defined as the reaction in which there is increase in the oxidation number, that is called as oxidation. So these 2 definitions will be going to discuss in the further videos. So we have learned the 4 important definitions for oxidation. What about the reduction? As the oxidation is the addition of oxygen, but the reduction is the process in which there is addition of hydrogen. So in this reaction you can say that there is addition of hydrogen. That means this is an organic reaction. That is, this is ethene. In ethene, 2 hydrogen get added. You can see here. Now here this is H2 double bond H2. Now on the product side H3 single bond H3. That means here what is happening? One of the bond in the double bond get break and one H get added here. One H get added. That's why it becomes CH3. It becomes CH3. So when you compare from reactant to the product side, there is addition of hydrogen. So the reaction in which there is addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. And reduction can also be defined as addition of electropositive element. In this reaction, there is a addition of electropositive element is taking place. That is Hg. Cl2 is converted into Hg to Cl2. That means addition of electropositive element shows the reaction is reduction. It can also be defined as the process in which there is a removal of oxygen. When you look at from here, that is HgO is converted into Hg. That means from here to here, what is taking place here? Removal of oxygen is taking place. That's why you can see that HgO, that is an oxide of mercury, get converted into mercury. That is removal of oxygen is taking place. That's why it is called as reduction. So reduction is also defined as on the basis of removal of electronegative element. When there is a removal of electronegative element, when you compare from FeCl through 3L, FeCl3 is converted into FeCl2. From here to here, what is the change here? There is a removal of one of the electronegative element. That is, one Cl is removed from here. That reaction is called as reduction. So we have learned the reduction and oxidation reaction, but actually all these reaction in which both the oxidation and reduction is taking place. When you take the example of this reaction, in this reaction from here to here, what is happening here? There is removal of one Cl, but when you look at here, when we compare this equation, that is H2 is converted into HCl. So what is here actually taking place? There is addition of one Cl and here there is removal of one Cl. That means removal of electronegative element, that is this reaction is called as reduction. That is removal of Cl is called as reduction. But what about in this case? That is from H2 to HCl, there is addition of electronegative element, that is Cl. So addition of electronegative element, we have already learnt that reaction is oxidation. So actually in these all reaction, oxidation is also taking place and simultaneously reduction is also taking place. So we have learned the different definition for reduction. So when we write all the definition together, so here we have learned the definition for reduction as addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. Addition of electropositive element is called as reduction. Reduction can also be defined as removal of oxygen or removal of electronegative element. The another two important definition for reduction is, that is gain of electron is called as reduction, or the decrease in the oxidation number is called as reduction. So these two definitions will be going to discuss in the further videos. So when we do a comparative study of oxidation and reduction, we can say that the addition of oxygen is called as oxidation, but the removal of oxygen is called as reduction. Here there is removal of hydrogen, we have learned oxidation, but the addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. Similarly, when we look at the electronegative element in terms of electronegative element, addition of electronegative element is oxidation, but the removal of electronegative element is called as reduction. When we define the oxidation and reduction in terms of electropositive element, we can say that removal of electropositive element is oxidation and the addition of electropositive element is that is a reduction. And in terms of the exchange of electrons, if we define it, we can define oxidation as loss of electron. That process is called as oxidation, but where there is gain of electron, that is called as reduction. And in terms of oxidation number, when we define these, it can be defined in this way. The reaction in which there is increase in the oxidation number, that is called as oxidation, and the reaction in which there is decrease in the oxidation number, that is called as reduction. So as I told you, the most important definition for these, that is loss of electron, gain of electron, increase in the oxidation number, decrease in the oxidation number. So these two are the very most important definition for oxidation and reduction that is most useful when we dealing with any redox reaction. So in the further videos, we'll be discussing these two definitions in detail. So this is all about this video. Have a nice day.